Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats, you know that we gotta run it back. Whether on the field or the court, you know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Wire Sports Media. This is still your Motivation Money. So let's get right to it. Cathy Engelbert, aka Cathy Engelbert Cream, looks like she could be in some serious hot water because the Senator of Connecticut is pulling out all the stops with this sale that Cathy Engelbert and the WNBA seems to continue to block. Like I said before, I did a video before where the owner of Boston, the owner of Milwaukee, they wanted a piece of this team. Cathy blocking people, saying that, hey, you didn't bid on the expansion team when you have I said that Josh Harris, who recently bought the Commanders, he owns a majority owner of the Philadelphia Sixers, who did get awarded an expansion team. Why in the world you won't let him buy into it and move the team over there? They want to keep the team for themselves, and then they want to lowball the Mohegan tribe to keep the money for themselves. Now, me personally, why not let them buy whoever wants to buy it or sell it and let them get it to Hartford and let them do what they need to do? But Cathy Engelbert, to me, I feel like they trying to do some shady backdoor stuff to where they want to rub their hands. They want to grease their palms also. They want some of that money also. You know what I'm saying? And these people they're not going for it. They're not standing for it. They're not standing for Cathy Engelbert and the WNBA to manipulate their way into buying this team. So we're gonna look here on X real quick because you got Dan O'Keefe. He went on social media today and said that he's been working on an important project keeping Connecticut Sun here in Connecticut. Here is an update, and now now he needs your help. Please sign the petition below and spread the word. So let's listen to what he had to say.
Hey guys, it's Dan. Look, speaking into an iPhone is not exactly my strong point. I leave that to my teenagers, but I felt like I had to tell you guys what's going on and ask for your help. So we have now submitted multiple offers with a goal of keeping the Connecticut Sun here in Connecticut. We have done that because I think if there is one sport where Connecticut has a real right to win, it is women's basketball. We have more national championships than anyone else. The Huskies have sent more players to the WNBA than any other school, more first-round draft picks. It is truly a center of excellence in women's basketball. The league, the WNBA, has been very clear. Their view is if that team moves an inch, it leaves the state of Connecticut. Their goal is to send it to another market aligned with NBA teams, typically larger media markets. I get that. But what is driving me crazy is you're telling me that a women's basketball team has to go where a men's basketball team is. That makes literally zero sense to me in 2025. By the way, as has been publicly reported, and this is true, while turning down these offers or blocking these offers, the league has also said they're happy to buy the team on the cheap. So they're saying to an existing owner that they can't get market value, but they can sell it for a much lower price. How is that allowed? So we need your help. I'm going to put a link below to sign a petition. If you're up for it, call the WNBA, call its commissioner. I think we need all voices making sure that the Connecticut Sun stays right here in Connecticut. The sun does not set on Connecticut.
Now, I agree with him to a certain extent. To me, saying that, hey, well, let's keep it in Connecticut because of the UConn Huskies men's basketball and women's basketball, that is a way to say, oh, well, let's keep it here. Nah, I don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? If you want to keep it there, have other reasons why. Because, yeah, the Connecticut women's basketball has more women in the WNBA, you know, throughout the years. But that doesn't factor in because you have none of them on your team. Now, yeah, you got Tina Charles who went to Connecticut, and you got Aaliyah Ellis that was traded there. But before then, you didn't really have nobody from UConn to really say, "Lord, I want to play at Connecticut. Oh, I want to build a franchise in Connecticut. I want to bring a championship to the Connecticut Sun." No, that most of Connecticut players went to Minnesota or Seattle and New York. So what are we talking about here? Just saying you manufacturing all of that and say because you feel like that the Connecticut Sun needs to stay there. Yeah, I agree. If you want to keep it there and you want to buy it to keep it there, yeah, I agree. The league should not block that at all. Should allow you to have that. And see, it's been told that that Cathy Engelbert and the WNBA wants to buy the team on the cheap, move it to a city like Houston or somewhere else. They don't want people like the owner of Boston Celtics and the owner of the Milwaukee Bucks to buy it and then move the team to their market. You know what I'm saying? Now, Milwaukee is not a big market, but they have won titles and stuff like that. You look at Boston, that is a big market. You look at Philadelphia, that is a big market. You know, why not have it moved there if you're trying to move it to a big market? They trying to move it to Houston where you already have the Dallas Wings down there. And they still are not able to get the audience there. Why not move the Dallas Wings to Houston? Move that team to Houston and build that fan base up again and have that fan base come to Houston, and then you have a new franchise. You bring that franchise back. Kill Dallas and bring Houston back by moving Dallas to there. That makes more sense. Not trying to have Connecticut. Now, if Connecticut was to stay there, because I think Connecticut is not owned by no NBA team. I think them in Seattle, and there's three more others. Now, and so me personally, Lauda, whoever had, and then the sale was supposed to have been through the owner of Boston for $325 million. But the fact of the matter is that Cathy Engelbert tried to kill it and said that, oh, he didn't put in a bid for expansion. That ain't got shit to do with it. That ain't got nothing to do with it, because the fact of the matter is money talks. And you know the rest, BS talk. So therefore, I feel like if he had the money for it, allow the Mohegan Tribe sell the team to whoever they feel like they want to sell it to. Not just long as Cathy Engelbert and WNBA, because they're trying to lowball it for their own selfish personal needs, and then trying to keep some money off the back end of it. So Alexa Philippou, who writes for the ESPN, she put out an article today and talks about it. And it says that the senator, I'm not going to say pronounce his last name because I don't want to get his last name chopped up. But United States Senator Richard from Connecticut sent out a letter to the WNBA on Monday warning the league to stay out of negotiations between the Mohegan Tribe and the Perseus new ownership group of the Connecticut Sun. And that any attempts by the WNBA to block efforts to keep the Sun in Connecticut could violate federal antitrust laws. Now, so if there's any type of violation, anything seeking that Cathy Engelbert is trying to block the sale for the Dune to sell and keep the team in Connecticut, or allow any other allow anybody else to buy the team, could affect her to be summoned, subpoenaed, coming to court for breaking antitrust laws. So now, with that being said, he also went on to say, who is a member of the Senate Judicial Committee and previously served as the state's attorney general for 20 years, said he will demand investigation and enforcement action from appropriate federal authorities if the WNBA takes any step to hinder or constrain Connecticut's negotiations. The letter comes following months of conflict between the WNBA and the Mohegan tribe, which has owned the Sun since 2003. In exploring investment options for the team, the tribe received two bids, one that would relocate the team to Boston and the other that would move the team to Hartford for a full franchise sale of $325 million. And Cathy Engelbert continuously to get in the way because they want to. Now, this is what I think. I think Cathy Engelbert don't have some secret investors that they want to lowball and sell it for the cheap so they can move that team themselves. And they're not gonna move it to. And then what they were trying to do, by selling that cheap, they was not going to charge a relocation fee at that price. You know what I'm saying? By lowballing them. So me personally, I feel like at the end of the day, Cathy Engelbert and WNBA is always on some shady type of business. No matter what it is, they're on some shady type of business. Let me continue real quick. But the league has indicated it doesn't consider either deal acceptable, arguing cities that have previously gone through the expansion process will get priority over those who have not. That is BS right there in itself, because it doesn't matter. It does not matter. So, for instance, at the Seattle, if a team for Charlotte say they wanted a team, let's say they come up and say we want to buy the Connecticut Sun, they have to go to a expansion process, and just to buy a team to have a team move, that's ridiculous. I want to see what clause, what contract illustrates that for them to go into that. That's saying that in the whole that this is how it's supposed to be done. Because you look at other teams, when the Phoenix Sun got sold, there was no suspension process for it. They just got sold. When the Washington Commanders got sold, there was no expansion process to that. So what makes you think that the WNBA can't sell a team, or a person can sell his team to whoever the bidder is, and have to go, and the buyer have to go through some kind of expansion process just to purchase a team? That's ridiculous. So, all right. Any sale and relocation must be approved by the Board of Governors. Okay, I get that. But that means, and it says any sale or relocation must be approved by the Board of Governors. But you still cannot stop a team from selling their team to whoever it is. You can't block that and say, oh, we don't want it to go here, or we don't want to go here, and you putting all these stipulations, because if this was to go to court and they don't even have legitimate proof that this is the right way to go by it, Cathy Engelbert could find herself in so much hot water till it's ridiculous. Now, the WNBA has offered to buy the Sun for $250, which will allow the league to relocate it to a market of its choice. See, the WNBA wants to buy this team and move it to where they wanted to move it to, but then they're not going to charge the league a relocation fee to do it. But the tribe has not set that offer, believing the price does not reflect the market value. And I agree with them. It doesn't reflect the market value because the fact of the matter is they had the team since 2003, and that value has moved up. Yeah, they don't have a practice facility. They don't have all the accommodations that they want to. But at the end of the day, allow the franchise to move somewhere where they could finally be in a market that they could grow, instead of keeping them, or you trying to buy it and move it to where you want to, and then the team miss around and then don't do well. So any further attempts by the WNBA to use its considerable governance and market power over the Connecticut Sun to limit or dictate negotiations with the state of Connecticut, the senator wrote, could be an unreasonable restraint of trade and interference with the market that will violate federal antitrust laws. Wow. So, and he said that in his letter cited that the Sun story, history in the state, on the court, the team has been one of the WNBA's most consistent franchise, and argued that the state proposed full insurance to continue commercial and professional success of the Connecticut Sun and addresses the report expansion concerns of the WNBA. Hartford has already demonstrated that the ability to draw fans, notably hosting both the UConn men and women's basketball team, two of the most successful college basketball programs in the country, as well as NCAA tournament games, the letter said. Furthermore, relocating the team out of Connecticut would leave New England without a WNBA team and disrupt the stability of the growth of the Sun have achieved over the years in the state, which has made it a successful franchise that it has become. The tribe and the league are expected to meet soon to discuss options moving forward. So, and my guess is Cathy Engelbert need to get on board, because if they move to Hartford, which is a pretty good place, they could build a new facility. They could have more fans. They might be able to build a new arena, or still use Boston, arena, or maybe Connecticut, whatever they play in, or whatever the case may be, or build something. But they're not giving them a chance to do anything to ensure the growth of the team. You want to move it out. You want to lowball them or move it out and put it in a market that, especially when you put it, Houston has had this chance, has been successful, but it has not done anything after their championship years. Now, if you're going to do that, move Dallas if that's the case. But don't put another team in Texas when you already got a struggling team like Dallas, and you can't garner any more fans than what you garnered in. Then you're going to have two dead franchises in the same state that is not generating anything, and you're not going to get no ratings because they're going to have to split between the teams. The fan base is going to have to split between the two teams. So to me, I think that Cathy Engelbert, if they don't want this to go the way the senator's talking, then I think they need to get on the ball. I think they need to go ahead and sell this team, let this team be sold for whatever price is going to be sold, move forward, let it be done. But trying to do what you're doing now is going to cost you more. And then you already got to worry about the CBA. Then you already got more expansion teams coming. That don't even make sense. Allow this team to move and do and grow as one of the premier franchises that have been in the league for a long, long time. Let me know what you think about Cathy Engelbert and this situation with the WNBA with the Connecticut Sun. Do you see it going to court? Do you see Cathy Engelbert finally selling it to somebody or allowing them to buy and keep it in Hartford, or she's going to allow somebody else from the outside to buy this team. I think she'll finally let them, the Mohegan tribe, sell it to them and keep it in Hartford, keep this team in Hartford instead of moving outside to a bigger market. I think the success of the Connecticut Sun, I just think the thing is they just need to be able to be in a position to buy, build a new facility. That's just the main thing, because they do get fans, but it's what it is. Like, comment, subscribe to the next ep. You know what it is. Motivation Monday, and I'm out.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire. It's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it. So official, like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire. Sports and entertainment. Let's go.